Auzubillahi minash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good day, students. How are you? How was your Eid al-Fitr celebration? I'm of the hope that it was fantastic. And I'm seizing this opportunity to welcome you to the beginning of our e-learning, to the beginning of another week of our e-learning class. And for this week, the topic of discussion is going to be light waves. Light waves. And under this topic, we have subtopics: sources of light, transmission of light, rectilinear propagation of light, formation of shadows and eclipses, and pinhole camera. So let's begin. Sources of light. Sources of light. Before we start looking at sources of light, what is light itself? Light is a form of energy which is radiated from a source. Light has a number of sources. Some are man-made, while others are natural. Examples of man-made sources of light include light from candles and light from electric bulbs. Natural sources of light are the sun, stars, glowworms, fireflies, etc. And these sources of light can be grouped into luminous and non-luminous sources. Before we look at luminous and non-luminous sources, let me summarize what we have in the first paragraph. Light is defined as a form of energy which is radiated, produced from a source. And the sources that produce light can be divided into natural sources and man-made sources. And as the name implies, natural sources are the sources of light that are created by God. We don't have power over them. And examples are the sun, stars, glowworms, and fireflies. All these are natural sources of light. Then we also have man-made sources of light, like the electric bulbs at home. We are the one that made that. Then we have candles, we have lantern, we have lamp, kerosene lamp, gas lamp. All these are man-made sources of light. Then sources of light can also be classified into two broad categories. We have luminous sources of light and non-luminous sources of light. Now let's look at them one by one. Luminous sources. These are objects or sources that generate and emit light by themselves. They generate light by themselves and they emit it by themselves. Examples are stars, sun, electric lamps, etc. While non-luminous sources, these are sources or objects that depend on man-made or natural sources to produce light. That is, they cannot generate or emit light by themselves. They can only produce the light that they will reflect from another source. For example, the moon. The moon does not produce its own light. We are able to see the moon, or the light we see from the moon is as a result of reflection of the light from the sun. So the moon is a non-luminous source of light. Another examples of non-luminous source of light, we have the human body, and so on. So all these are non-luminous sources of light. They cannot produce or generate their own light. We can only see them due to the reflection of light from another source, be it natural or man-made. And these non-luminous sources of light can also be grouped into three different categories. We have transparent objects, translucent objects, and opaque objects. Let's look at them one by one. Transparent objects. I beg your pardon. Transparent objects. These are objects which allow light to pass through them easily. As the definition implies, light can easily pass through a transparent object to the other side. Examples are water, glass. So when we look through a transparent object, we can easily see what is at the other side. So things can be seen through a transparent object clearly. So a transparent object allows light to pass through them easily. And example has been given to be water or glass. Then let's look at translucent objects. These are objects which allow light to pass, small amount of light to pass through them. They only allow very small amount of light to pass through them so that things cannot be clearly seen inside them. Examples are frosted glass or tinted glass, then tissue paper, oily paper, etc. They are all translucent objects. If you look through a translucent object, you will not be able to see the other side. You will be seeing the other side faintly. It won't be clear. Then we'll have the third type, which is opaque objects. This object will not allow any light to pass through them at all. So examples are wood, bricks, metals, etc. Before we move to the next subtopic, let me run through them again. We said sources of light can be natural or man-made. It can also be luminous and non-luminous. Natural sources are the sources that are created by God, by nature. Examples are the sun, then stars, fireflies, glowworms, etc. While the man-made sources are the one designed or created by humans. We have the candles, electric bulbs, electric lamps, gasoline lamps, gas lamps, etc. Then we also have luminous and non-luminous. Luminous sources of light are the sources that generate and emit light by themselves, while non-luminous sources are the sources that cannot generate their own light, but we are able to see light through them by the reflection of light from another source. And these non-luminous sources can be classified into three: transparent object, translucent object, and opaque object. Transparent objects are the objects which allow light to pass through them easily so that things can be seen through them clearly. Examples are water and glass. Translucent objects are the objects that allow only small amount of light to pass through them so that things cannot be seen clearly through them but can be seen faintly. Examples are frosted glass or tinted glass, tissue paper and oily paper. While the opaque objects do not allow light to pass through them at all. Then examples are wood, bricks, and metals. Now, let's move to how light can be transmitted, and that's take us to transmission of light. Light is an example of electromagnetic waves because it does not require a material medium for propagation. If you can remember, we classify wave into mechanical wave and electromagnetic waves. Mechanical waves are the waves that require material medium for their propagation, while electromagnetic waves are the ones that do not require material medium for their propagation. So light wave falls into that category. Light is an example of electromagnetic waves because it does not require material medium for its propagation. And when we are talking of light, we can have rays of light and beams of light. So what is the difference between a ray of light and a beam of light? A ray is the direction or path along which light energy travels. But when you have a collection of rays, then we have a beam, as shown in the diagram. The single line indicates a ray of light, but the parallel ones, collection of rays, is what we call a beam. And when we have a beam of light, there are 3 types of beams of light. So we have a parallel beam of light, a convergent beam of light, and a divergent beam of light. As shown in the diagram, a parallel beam of light are the collection of rays that are parallel to one another. They will never meet, they go like that. While a convergent beam of light will converge, all of them will converge at a point called a focus. While a divergent beam of light is a beam that spread out and appear as if they are coming from a source. This is called the focus. As shown in the diagram, the first one is the parallel beam of light, the second one is convergent beam of light, while the third one is a divergent beam of light. Note that light rays travel in a straight line, and this is what is called rectilinear propagation of light. Light ray always travel along a straight line, and the phenomenon of light traveling along a straight line is known as rectilinear propagation of light. And this is going to be our next subtopic for the next period. In other words, this is where we are calling this period off. Until next time when I will come your way again, which is going to be the second period of this week. Once again, my name is Oladimiji T.A., your physics teacher. I'm saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.